composers borrow, great composers steal. Some composers get caught.
That's great. That's marvelous, isn't it? Yeah.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 rip-off songs. For this list, we'll be ignoring sample-heavy songs and focusing on hit tunes where the similarities spawned threats of legal action or triggered actual lawsuits and litigation. Enjoy! Number 10. The Kinks, All Day and All of the Night versus The Doors, Hello, I Love You.
Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name?
Although The Doors guitarist Robbie Krieger denied his band copied the chord-driven main riff, the Kinks' music publishers found these two singles were just a bit too similar.
Girl, I want to be with you all of the time, all day and all of the night.
UK courts agreed, and so a deal was eventually struck entitling the Kinks to a large share of Hello, I Love You's British royalties.
Her arms are wicked and her legs are long. When she moves, my brain screams out this song.
The Doors' song credits remain unchanged, but Ray Davies' bank account certainly hasn't.
Hello, hello, hello.
Number 9. Muddy Waters' You Need Love versus Led Zeppelin, Whole Lotta Love.
You need cool air, baby, I'm not fooling.
By cranking the tempo and volume of the blues, Led Zepp helped pioneer hard rock and heavy metal.
I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Want a whole lot of love?
But sometimes they stuck just a bit too close to their roots.
Baby, way down inside, woman, you need love. I know you need love.
While it took them a long time to get caught, the rock icons were finally sued in 1985 for Whole Lotta Love's whole lot of similarities to the Willie Dixon penned Muddy Waters classic. Though things were eventually settled out of court, it wasn't the only time the British rockers were accused of borrowing material, as even Stairway to Heaven has been tainted by calls of plagiarism. Number 8. Joe Satriani, If I Could Fly versus Coldplay, Viva La Vida.
For some reason I can't explain. I know St. Peter won't call my name.
Take notes on this one, you'll need them. First, Creaky Boards suggested Coldplay had ripped off their ironically titled tune, The Songs I Didn't Write. However, the British rockers had recorded a demo of Viva prior to that song's first performance.
Be my mirror, my soul and shield, my missionaries in a foreign field.
Then, Joe Satriani stepped up, lawsuit in hand, claiming Chris Martin and crew borrowed from his If I Could Fly. Things got even more complicated when Yusuf Islam, formerly Cat Stevens, joined in on the fun, pointing out that all of those songs sounded like his Foreigner Suite. Satriani's case was later dismissed in 2009. Number 7. The Kinks' Picture Book versus Other Garden Never Got the Chance versus Green Day, Warning. And now, how not to file a lawsuit. In 2001, Colin Mary, songwriter for an obscure English band called The Other Garden, sued Green Day, claiming that Warning was a copy of his song Never Got the Chance. The band's lawyer threatened to sue the punk rockers for as much as $100,000. despite the fact that Mary admitted both his and Green Day songs had the same distinct riff as Picture Book by the Kinks. Needless to say, the lawsuit was eventually dropped. Number 6. Huey Lewis and the News' I Want a New Drug versus Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters. Who you gonna call? A lawyer if you're Huey Lewis. Lewis was actually asked to write a theme for Ghostbusters, but passed on it to write music for Back to the Future instead. So, when Ray Parker Jr.'s theme for the supernatural comedy came out sounding suspiciously like I Want a New Drug, Lewis cried plagiarism. It was settled out of court almost a decade later, and when the News frontman spilled the beans on the confidential settlement on TV, Ray Parker Jr. turned the tables and sued Lewis in 2001.
When it comes through your door, unless you just want some more, I think you better call Ghostbusters.
Number 5. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Run Through the Jungle versus John Fogerty, The Old Man Down the Road. In a very odd move, John Fogerty was sued for sounding like himself.
You take a thunder from the mountain, you take a lightning from the sky.
As owner of CCR's song catalog and his label during his Creedence days, Fantasy Records claimed The Old Man Down the Road
He make the bargain of the house.
ripped off Run Through the Jungle.
Better run through the jungle. Better run through the jungle.
The swamp rocker beat the case by bringing a guitar to the stand and demonstrating that the two songs were in fact quite different. And that you couldn't actually plagiarize yourself. Number 4. Marvin Gaye, Gotta Give It Up versus Robin Thicke, Blurred Lines.
Everybody get up.
In one of many controversies that plagued this summer hit, Robin Thicke actually sued Marvin Gaye's family for alleging the singer had plagiarized the late soul artist.
I know you want it. I know you want it. I know you want it. Good girl.
While Thicke admitted he was inspired by Gotta Give It Up, he and co-writer Pharrell Williams contend they're essentially not the same. Citing different chords, keys, and more. Bridgeport Music also became involved due to claims Blurred Lines sampled Funkadelic's Sexy Ways.
I just want to say that I love your sexy way.
Number 3. The Rolling Stones' The Last Time versus The Verve, Bittersweet Symphony. In this case, The Verve obtained the rights to sample the Andrew Oldham orchestral version of the Stones' classic. But the issue here is how much the band used, and in the opinion of the Rolling Stones manager, it was way too much. While royalties for Bittersweet Symphony were intended to be split evenly between the two groups, the song's massive success caused the Stones to demand 100% of the royalties.
No change, I can change, I can change, I can change, but I'm here.
And the songwriting credits.
I am here in my mode.
Ironically, it was David Whittaker who actually composed the string section that the Verve sampled so freely in their hit.
My mode, no, 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 no. Do-lang, 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 do-lang.
2, The Chiffons' He's So Fine versus George Harrison, My Sweet Lord. Soon after releasing his solo hit, the former Beatle found himself at the center of a copyright infringement lawsuit filed by Bright Tunes.
He's so fine. Oh yeah, gotta be mine.
George Harrison was accused of plagiarizing the Ronnie Macpin tune He's So Fine, and the courts ruled he had subconsciously copied the Chiffon smash and would owe nearly $1.6 million in damages.
Really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord.
But the story doesn't end there. After Harrison fired his manager Alan Klein during the trial, Klein seized the opportunity to buy the copyright to He's So Fine. The courts ultimately decided Harrison would only have to pay Klein's Abco Industries $587,000, and he ended up with the song's rights. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Boys keep swinging, boys always work it out. Here comes a love, boy, you're a girl. Here comes a high. No cigarettes, no sleep, no light. When you were before, couldn't look you in the eye. They're really rocking in Boston.
Number 1, Chuck Berry's Sweet Little 16 versus the Beach Boys' Surfin' USA.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be surfing.
For our number 1 pick, we chose the instance in which Brian Wilson openly and knowingly used the music to a Chuck Berry hit. The Beach Boy felt the track was the perfect setting for his surfing-themed lyrics, but neglected to credit Berry upon its recording and release. Although Surfin' USA is meant to be viewed as a tribute, Berry's publishing company was unimpressed and forced Wilson's manager to surrender copyright to the Rock and Roll Pioneers publisher, Arc Music.
All the cats wanna dance with sweet little 16.
Do you agree with our list? Which songs do you think are complete and total ripoffs? For more original top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
All the cats wanna dance.